The topic of our research is intrinsic motivation on sport activity between gender among UiTM PERLIS students. The questionnaire that we use is Intrinsic Motivation Inventory, IMI.
Our group member consists of Nur Aisyah Idina binti Zainuddin, Hazi Irfan bin Syamsul, Muhammad Syauqi Al-Hadi bin Mat Sofi, Muhammad Adli bin Mat Azmi, and me, Siti Nufarisha binti Muhammad Nazir.
For the introduction in this chapter, data was collected at University Technology Mara, UiTM PERLIS Campus Arau, with a total of 60 respondents, 30 males and 30 females has been analysed. The participants were students from 6 different faculties, which is Faculty of Sports Science and Recreation, Faculty of Business and Management, College of Computing Information and Mathematics, College of Built and Environment, Faculty of Accountancy and Faculty of Applied Science. The respondents include 2 levels of study, which is diploma and degree students. The purpose of this study was to investigate the level of intrinsic motivation inventory, IMI, among UiTM PERLIS students. Descriptive statistics were derived from a questionnaire-based survey. Data analysis was conducted using the Statistical Package for Social Science, SPSS version 27. As the results was collected, the overall conclusion will be interpreted. The objective of this research: to identify the intrinsic motivation on sport activity among UiTM PERLIS students, to compare element of intrinsic motivation on sport activity between gender among UiTM PERLIS students. The hypothesis of this research: first, there is no significant level of intrinsic motivation for engaging in sports activity among UiTM PERLIS students. There is a significant level of intrinsic motivation for engaging in sport activities among UiTM PERLIS students. There is no significant difference in the element of intrinsic motivation for sports activities between male and female students in UiTM PERLIS. There is a significant difference in the elements of intrinsic motivation for sports activities between male and female students in UiTM PERLIS. Next is data to Excel and data to SPSS. The steps of collecting data, organizing it in Excel, and finally importing it into SPSS version 27 for analysis. The data has been collected. The next step is to transfer it into an Excel spreadsheet. This allows us to organize and number the data efficiently. Each row represents a different respondent and create columns for each variable. After organizing the data in Excel, next step is importing into SPSS for analysis.
Next is recode. First, analyze, then recode into different variable, insert number from reverse scoring, then name SRQ for a new, click old and new, then insert a reverse number scale from 7 to 1 scale, then click OK. So for data management, I ensure that the data is not missing, then I check the outlier after enter it. Unfortunately, our data has outlier, then I clean the data and put a new data. For normality test, I use Kolmogorov-Smirnov test because the sample was bigger than 50. Our data normal but one is not normal.
For the scoring info, to analyze the data, first reverse score specific items 2, 9, 11, 14, 19 and 21 by extracting each participant's response from it, resulting in a new score that reflects a higher level of the concept being measured, example, increased pressure or tension, or perceived competence. Next, calculate the subscales score by averaging the scores of the relevant items within each subscale. This method ensures that a higher average score indicates a stronger presence of the associated concept, with the R notation serving as a reminder for which items require reverse scoring.
How to compute variable? For compute new variable, the first step is click transform and then click compute variable. Step 2. Enter the name of new variable in target variable box. In the target variable box, cannot spacing or use any special character. Then, use the new numeric expression to sum up all the question. For example, Q1 plus Q5 plus Q7 and so on. Click OK to create new variable. The new variable data will appear at the bottom of the table. Next is descriptive statistic. The descriptive statistic of demographic data. First step is click Analyze, Descriptive Statistic, and Frequency. Insert all the demographic data in variable box such as gender, level of study, faculty, and semester. Then, click OK to get the result. Step 3. For reporting, do convert the table into the APA 7 edition format.
So right now I will explain on data analysis and interpretation on descriptive statistic and descriptive analysis. So for the step 1, click on analyzing on SPSS, followed by descriptive statistic and click descriptive. For step 2, click insert all relevant variable into the variable box, which is put interest, perceived competence, perceived choice, and tension. So we proceed to step 3. Click option and ensure to tick the mean, standard deviation, and variable list, and then click OK. So for the step 4 or last step, compute the result of SPSS output into 7 edition format reporting writing, which is in APA format.
Alright, now I will present data analysis and interpretation. To conduct inferential statistics, the process begins by opening the dataset in SPSS where the variables are listed along with their types and measurement scales. Next, navigate to the Analyze menu at the top of the interface. From there, select Compare Means to access a range of statistical tests suitable for your analysis needs. Next, for our research, we use independent sample t-test and click OK to run the test. Next, after conducting an independent sample t-test, which compares the means of two groups to determine significant differences, the test variable include interest, perceived competence, and tension, with gender as the grouping variable. After that, for key steps include selecting the test variable such as perceived stress and defining the groups for comparison, like group 1 and group 2. Options such as estimating effect sizes provide additional insights into the magnitude of differences. This process helps researchers determine if differences between groups are statistically significant, enabling data-driven conclusions.
So for step 4 is convert SPSS output data into APA 7 edition format at report writing. So this is the independent t-test for normal distribution. This is the result for independent t-test for interest, perceived choice, tensions that significant between gender among UiTM PERLIS student in sport activity.
Now, I will be talking about data analysis and interpretation, specifically focusing on the Mann-Whitney U-test. As shown in the slide, we are using SPSS software for our analysis. To perform the Mann-Whitney test in SPSS, we navigate to the Analyze menu, select non-parametric test, go to Legacy Designs, then choose two independent samples. This test is commonly used to compare two independent groups when the assumption of normality is not met. Continuing with the Mann-Whitney U test, this slide demonstrates the setup process in SPSS. Once you select two independent samples under the non-parametric test menu, a dialog box appears. As shown here, in this dialog box, we define the test variable. This is the variable for which we want to test differences between two groups. Then, specify the group variable which represents the two independent groups we comparing. Under the Define Groups option, we enter the specific values that identify our two groups in the dataset. For instance, if group 1 is coded as 1 and group 2 as 2, we input this value. Once configured, clicking Continue and then OK will execute the test.
So for step 4 is convert SPSS output data into APA 7 edition format at report writing. Lastly is the result for man-Whitney test for perceived competence that significant between gender among UiTM PERLIS students in sport activity.